Okay, yeah. So good evening, everybody, and welcome back to our final day for our JavaScript essentials. And today we are going to create our project. So let me just first of all, I'm going to give you a demo of the project that we are going to build. And before that, like all the basics, how you can mark your attendance. And by the way, like today, you can also download your certificate. So for that, you just need to wait for this stream to end, and as soon as this stream will get in, you are going to get your certificate right there. So let me just share my screen, and yes, I think it's visible. Just go over here in the description. You're going to get this one link here. Just click on this link, and it's going to take you to a page with the, as we call it, one link, because we have everything here only. So I think I'm not enrolled right now. Let me re-log in once more. Okay, so I'm basically logging in. I'm signing in here. So yes, so here we are. So in the day 5 here, we have the day 5, the project day. And first of all, like quick check if I'm audible and like if I'm audible or not. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, hi Naveen, hi everybody. So first of all, a quick check if I'm audible. Yeah, that's great. So in the description, you are going to get this day 5 here. Just click on this day 5. How much you like this session on the scale of 0 to 10. I'm going to go with 10 here. And like obviously now, because I am the one who is taking the session, so obviously I'm going to go with 10 here. And if you are interested in our 6 month of full stack program, that means right now we are giving away 7,000 rupees off on both of the courses. So you should be very, very interested, because both the courses are true value for money. Like not at all value for money. Those courses are steal, like literally. So yes here, and if you are in, if you have any suggestion for us, nothing for now, and submit our attendance. So as soon as our session will end, you are going to get us download your certificate button there if you have successfully marked the attendance for all the 5 days. So let me just close this. Yep, and first of all, let me just give you a demo for our game. So it is gonna be like this. So the game is very simple and but very difficult to play. So the game is like you basically have to guess a number from 1 to 20. Yeah. So there is a lucky number automatically generated randomly. Every time you play the game, a random number will get generated, and it's basically your lucky number. And you need to guess that lucky number, and to guess that you're going to get 10 attempts. So if in your 10 attempts you guess the number, like you are going to win. Otherwise, on my every attempt, if my number is wrong, it's going to deduct this one from here. No? So from 10, 9, 8. And if I'm gonna, let's suppose if I guess the number after 3 guesses, that means I'm lucky. And if I'm going to guess the number, let's say with 8 guesses, and obviously I'm not that much lucky, isn't it? So this is how we are going to play this game, and it's also going to show you the hints. So let's suppose the lucky number is 15. Check. So see, I'm getting a message that your guess is too low. So this message means the guess I have here is too low. That means lucky number should be greater than 15, isn't it? So let me just go with 19. And I am now getting the your guess is too high. So that means the lucky number should be between 15 and 19. So let's just go with 17. Again, I'm getting too low. So that means the number is between 17 and 19. And obviously, it is the only number we have here is 18. So we won the game. Yep. So this is how, and you can click here to replay this game again. Now a new lucky number is generated, and now again we have to guess the lucky number, and the steps are gonna be same like the previous one. So this is the game that we are going to build. So let's just play this game one more time. So let's just go with 5. Okay, so the guess is too high. That means number should be lesser than 5. Let's just go with 2. So it's too low. That means the number should be between 2 to 5. Let's just go with 4. Okay, so 4 was the correct answer. Yeah. So again, just by trying my two attempts, I'm getting the correct numbers. It does not happen many times. Like it's still okay. So today I'm very much lucky. I'm guessing all the numbers in just 3 guesses. So that means I'm lucky today. So you can just play this game whenever you are feeling like that you are not lucky much. You are not lucky that much. Okay, so Chat GPT. So Drag Gaming is actually asking me about the Chat GPT. For those who don't know about this Chat GPT thing, is so it's actually a AI which can help you to write code. So you can basically just write down their requirement, like what you want to build, and it's just gonna give you the solution there. But to be honest, now that technology is not that much matured. First of all, I tried it, and like if you haven't noticed, dry gaming, I use that thing every day, literally. So when I write my code here, na, so like this, see you see the suggestions and all. So let me just create, let's say, hello world. So these suggestions and all are just I'm getting this because of that AI tool. So it can understand what I want to write. But as you can see, this is basically showing me some jargon here. So these type of AI tools are not that much matured, and you don't need to worry about them, because to create those AI, you again need humans to write those AI. Na? So most of the people are worried like these AI tools are going to take up your jobs and all. Don't, like it's like maybe, but it's gonna take you like 100 years to for these AI to become mature enough to take up your job. And at the end, as like even though they will, but they need someone to maintain them. So at the end of the day, job of the developer is gonna be the safest option, and that's it. Like I have followed it from the starting, that autocomplete. So it's a GitHub Copilot, and it's exactly like that. And by the way, ChatGPT does not give you the correct solution every time. I tried it. So don't worry about that. You can find the multiple views on that. But my personal view is like you need not. Like it's gonna take minimum 100 years for us, so that a AI can overcome us. Yeah, it's because we need to have quantum computers before that. So it's not that possible right now with our current technology. And even though it's just going to make your life little easier. So if we have such tool, I will be the first one to use it, because I want someone to write my code. So obviously I will be the first one to use it. Okay, so that's it about chat GPT. Yeah, you can also try it. Okay, so let's start with our project here. So first of all, as this program is not about HTML and CSS, so we are not going to write our HTML CSS here. So for that, I have already written the HTML, and it's very basic HTML. So I'm just going to copy this HTML from here to our project like this, and it's very simple HTML, 50 lines of code, that's it. And for the CSS as well, it's not that much. So let me just paste the CSS from here to here, and let's just rename to game.css. Yeah. So CSS is also not that much. It's I think 100 200 lines of CSS, very basic CSS. No? So you can very easily create this the styling part by yourself, and if you want, you can change it also. So now this is our project, and now we have to recreate this. So let me just remove the previous one. Yeah, so I'm just going to close this one, and this is our basic structure for our application. And right now it's literally blank, nothing is gonna work. See, like literally nothing is working. Now somehow we need to make it work. So let's just take up this challenge, and let me just put this thing here. I need to open my console because I want to check my outputs every time here. Okay. So I'm also going to tell you how we generally create some application. So I'm just going to give you a very small demo how we do that. So the first step to create any application is to break your application into smaller pieces. So whenever you're actually solving a huge problem, it's not a huge problem. It's actually multiple small problems clubbed together. So let's just break up this project into smaller problems. So first, let's just understand what we are trying to do. So first step is that we need to generate a random number. Yeah, so we need to generate a random number. Okay, we will do that. Generate a random number. Okay, second step is to take the input from the user. So our second step will be to take the input from the, so it's gonna be a small second problem. Take the input from user. Yep. And third thing, I basically need to run a task as soon as user is gonna click on that button. So execute a task on button click, and ignore my handwriting for now. And what will be the task? So the task now further is divided. So our task is to check if the lucky number is greater than the lucky number, then show a message. If it is lesser than the lucky number, then show a message. And if the lucky number is equals to the lucky number, okay, user guess, sorry. If the user guess is lesser than the lucky number, then show some message. If the user guess is greater than our lucky number, then show some message. And the user guess and lucky number matches, then show some message. So right now I just have break down our problem into smaller pieces, and let's just start doing this from the first problem. So for the first problem is to generate a random number. Yeah, so shall we, everybody, are you ready guys? Like, shall we start? Like so this is the moment you people were waiting for past 4 days. Yep, that's great. So I need to generate a random number, and for that we have a function. So this is the only part which we haven't done. I think we touched this already in, I think, last session. So there's a function called as math.random. Yeah, and it is going to give you a random number. So let me just create a random number variable, and let me just save it inside a variable. Yeah, so this math.random function is given to us by JavaScript, and it can generate a random number between 0 to 1. Yeah, it can generate a random number between 0 to 1. Let me just log it out for you so that you can see it. See, I'm getting 0 to 1 every time. A random number between 0 to 1. But this is not what I want. I want a random number between 0 to 20. So there is very basic mathematics. Just multiply this thing by 20. Okay, so if you are going to multiply a number which is 0 to in between of 0 and 1, and if you multiply it by 20, then you are going to get a number which will be in between of 0 to 20. So this is basic mathematics. Don't ask me about this. I'm not a great mathematician or even a math student, so I just know this. Now this works. So you multiply a random number between 0 to 1 by any number, and in return you will get a random number between 0 to that number. Simple maths, and I don't wanna like talk it about anymore. So see, now I'm getting 4 here, 1, 6, 9, 5, 12, 15. See, so every time I'm getting a random number. Yep. And I just want to remove this decimal, and I just want to remove this decimal part. For that, JavaScript is like with us. So here we have a function called as math.floor. So there is a function called as math.floor, and inside this you can pass any number, and it is actually going to remove the decimal from it. See, I'm passing this 34.53 something, and it's actually removing the decimal for me. So I'm just going to pass this whole thing here, this math.number. So inside this math.floor, I'm going to pass this math.number multiplied by 20. And now, like, our first problem is completely solved, and I'm getting a random number between 0 to 20 every time. Okay, is it clear, everybody? Is it clear? So see, every time I'm getting a random number here. Okay, so the first phase is done, and the second phase is actually to get the user input. So if you want me to repeat this part, I can do that for you, and if it is clear, so let's move to the second thing, and which is to grab the two things. So let's just understand what we are going to require from our HTML. So I am definitely gonna need this button, because as soon as user is going to click on this button, I basically want to execute some code now. So this button here. So let's just grab this button with her ID. Say, sorry, not this one. I want this button. So the button, this check button, is having a ID. Let's say this ID, na? ID check here. So let's just grab this one, and let's just also grab this input field. So let's just also grab this input field, because from this input field we are going to get what? The user input. So inside this user input field you will have the user input. Yeah, and anytime you want me to repeat anything, you can just drop that thing in the chat, so I can like I'm just gonna repeat that it for you. So let me create a variable const check button equals to document dot get element by id. And what was the id, by the way? The id, okay, so id is check. Okay, the id is check, and just to check everything, I'm just going to log it out. Yep, so I'm getting my button here. So every time just do this console.log, so you don't fall into unnecessary errors and all. And also let's just grab this user input. So let me just create a variable user input equals to document dot get element by id. And let me just change the id of this thing to user input now. So now this is having id of user input. So now I have grabbed this input field as well as this button with by using a get element by id, and let's say get element by id. Yeah. Okay, so you're just writing the code along me. Yeah, yeah, I could have waited, like, but we have limited time now. So like we just have 15. I think we have 40 more minutes left. 40 minutes is more than enough, by the way. Okay, so where was I? So next thing, let's say how you can get the. Let's just set up a event listener. Why don't we now? So remember how we can set up a event listener? I want to set up a event listener on this button, and so dot add event listener, and the event I'm looking for, the event I'm gonna listen for is click. So let me just write here click click. Okay, so I am listening for the click event. The next thing I'm gonna do is to pass a task here. So let's just create a task. And how we can create a task? It's just a function. So I'm creating a function with the name of check number, and this will be our task for the button here. And for now, let me just write anything here. Let's say console.log checking the number, something like this, and save it. Now let's just have a look like if everything is working. So what I did, I just set up an event listener for our check button. So check button dot add event listener, the event I'm looking for is click here, and the task I want to execute on the click is this function name. So I'm just going to pass this function name, and we also call it callback. So like we also have a name for this, we call it callbacks here. Okay, and let me just minimize it, and let's see if it's working or not. A quick refresh, and every time I'm going to click on this button, I'm getting output checking number. Like even we are not checking it, I'm just logging it out. We are going to check the number, so don't worry about it. So let's check the number. So the logic of checking our number is going to be here inside this function. So first of all, to check the number, we need to basically get the user input value. So how we can do that? So let me just log it out for you. So remember this input field. So inside the input field, let me just log it out, log this out the input field here. And it's, by the way, it's an object. So this user input is an object. And inside this, we have a property or a value. We call it as value. And inside this value, you are actually going to have the user value. Now, whatever the user was entering, you are actually going to get inside this. So for that, what I did, you just need to grab the input field from which you want to get the value. Yep. And now the name dot value will give you the value. And let's see if I'm getting the value or not. So I'm going to type, let's say 23. See, I'm getting 23 here. So whatever I'm going to type here, I'm getting that value inside my input value, user input dot value. So you can basically write anything here, and you just need to click on this check, and right now I'm getting a value here. Yeah. Okay, that's great. Now let's move to the next part, and now our task begins. So all we need to do is to check for this number. So how we are going to do that? It's going to be very straightforward. First of all, if if our random number, if our random number is equal to our user input dot value, then I'm just going to log out. You guessed the correct number. I'm just going to log it out. You guessed the correct number. Yep. Else, else what I'm going to do? Else I'm just going to log out. You did not guess the number. Yep. Let's see by refresh. So right now the lucky number is 12. So basically I'm logging it out just for cheating purpose. And if I'm going to press enter here, I'm getting you did not guess the correct number, and I can just go with 18. I'm again getting did not guess the correct number, and if I enter 12 here, see I'm getting you guessed the correct number. So like it's working now. Now like as you can see, our program, the basic structure of our program is already completed. But what we need to do now is to basically show this message on the screen, and just take a guess how we can do that. Yeah, Dinesh, we literally did it. So for that, first thing you need to grab that element. You need to grab the input element. Okay, whatever the element you want to grab it. So like from this input field, I want to take some input, and inside this, user input dot value will basically give you the value from that input field. So we don't have any black screen here from which we can take the input. You basically take the input from the HTML. Like in HTML, you have all sort of forms and all. So why to create a black screen when you can basically create your HTML there and HTML content display? Yeah, we will do that. No, Pavan, you need not to take the screenshot of your HTML CSS, because I'm going to share this code with you as soon as this class is gonna end. So before that, I'm just going to give you the GitHub repo for this project here. So don't worry about that. Yep. So now the next thing I want to do is to, instead of showing this message on our console, I somehow want to display it on the screen. And I also want to change the styling. And if possible, we can also add some animation. Like if you want now, we can add some animation as well here. So let's just show this on your screen. So I'm just going to use this paragraph tag. So with the ID of message, and inside this, I'm going to show the messages. Okay. So let's just grab this paragraph tag here. And for that, const message box, let's say, equal to dot get element by ID message here. Yep. So anytime the user is going to get the correct number, I'm just going to do this dot text content equal to you guess the correct number. Let's just also put some emojis like this happy emoji. And if the message is wrong, let me just use the sad emoji here. And now we don't need this anymore. Now I can just show this emoji directly here. So let's say 12. See, I'm getting this message here. You did not guess the correct number. 8, 18. Let's see what is the lucky number, by the way. So the lucky number is actually 4. Yeah. So let me just write 4 here, and I'm getting your guess the correct number. That's great. Now I also want to show some sort of hint. So I want to show the hints when user is going to enter the wrong number. So only inside this else part, I want to write some extra code. Extra code, like the first thing I want to do here is if the random number is greater than the user input dot value. Okay, from the user input dot value, I'm going to show a message there that your guess is too low. Okay, so suppose our lucky number is, let's say, 18, and the user guess is 9. So we just need to show this message that your guess is too low because 9 is lesser than 18. So user can have a hint that lucky number should be greater than 19. Yeah, so it's sort of a hint for the user. So that's great. And let me also add one more if condition here. If the random number is lesser than, if the random number is less than the input value, then I'm going to show a message that your guess is too low here. Yeah, so now sorry, too high. So suppose the lucky number is, let's say, 7 and user guessed, let's say, 14. So we can show the hint that your guess is too high. The lucky number is little lower than 14. So they can have some sort of hint there. Okay, and let's see if it's working. So let me put 12 here. I'm guessing it's too high. So let's just go with 4. Let's say 8. It's again saying too high. That means it should be less than 5. Uh, okay, so this is the correct number, na 5. I don't know what is happening today. I'm so lucky, by the way. Okay, next thing, I just also want to change the styling as well. So how we can do that? So let's suppose I'm just going to update the styling of this whole section here. Okay, this whole section. Let's say just let's change the styling for this complete main section. So we have a section in our HTML. So this bottom part is having an ID of main. So let me just grab this in our JavaScript. So const main equals to document.getElement by main. Yep. And all I need to change the styling. So what I will do, main dot style dot background color to, let's say, green, and here I'm just going to put the background color to red. Okay, main dot style to red here and red here as well. So after every guess, it is also going to change the styling. See, red. Okay, it's too dark, too bright. Let me just pick some good colors from our color hunt. So it's a website from where you can get some pretty cool colors here. So let me just bring up the red color. So not this one, I'm just going to go with a very lighter red. So let's just go with this red here and this red for the high. Okay, high will be little bit darker, and for the green, let's just go with this green color, little subtle. Okay, let's see. 12, much better. It's too low, so it should be 18. It's too high, then it should be 15. It's too low, then 16. Okay, so 16 is the correct number. You guessed the correct number. I think I forgot to save it for the correct number. Save it. Yeah. Main.style.background color. So whenever we are going to guess the correct number, it should change the color to green here. As you can see here, it's not working. Can you see the problem? Main dot is okay. So the spelling of background color is very much wrong here. So that was the problem. So now 18 is the correct number. 18. Yep, it's working. So, okay, so that is very great. Now we have created our game. Like basic game is already completed. But can you guess which part of the game is still remaining if you want? Okay, explain about the even handling again button. Okay, yeah, I'll do that. Dinesh. Do we for the again? We also need to complete our score thing first of all. Now reset. Yeah. Do we need else after? No. If you want, you can basically put a else here, but it's not like that. If every if should have else as well. So else is like it's conditional. If you want to use it, you can. Otherwise, you can just go with else. Yeah, reset button. Okay, that's great. Let's move to the next part, and which is to create our score thing. Yeah, so I'm just going to close this. You can also restructure the code in a very pretty format. So like we have just written some code here, but you can also, if you want to, let's say if we have gonna have time, I'm just going to refactor it to a proper format. Now let me just grab the scorecard as well. So I think here we have our scorecard, ID score. Let me just grab this by ID score like this, and inside the score dot text content I just want to put 10 here now. So by default, it will be 10. So I'm grabbing this score thing. So in our HTML, we were having a span with the ID of the score, and I'm grabbing that. I'm putting the text content 10 there. And next thing, what I'm gonna do, const on every guess, on every wrong guess, on every wrong guess. Let me just create a variable for that as well. Let score value. Okay, score value will be 10, and let me just use it here. Okay, so I'm creating another variable score value which will be 10, which is 10, and I'm using that value to basically update our text content for the score element. So let me just rename it to score element, so it will be much more clear for us to understand the score element here. And on every guess, on every wrong guess, what I will do, so this is the wrong guess part now. So this is the wrong guess part. I'm just going to decrease the value of a score by doing score value equals to score value minus 1. Okay, the variable should be equals to by itself its value minus 1. So I'm decrementing it. You can also go with minus 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 minus. Next thing, I just need to update this updated value on the screen. So score element dot text content equals to our score value. So score element dot text content equals to our score value, which is basically the decreased value here. So that's it. Like, it's not about this much only. I also need to check one more thing. I also need to check for one more thing, that is if the score value is equal to 0, and if it is, so that means we need to show the message that you lost the game. Yeah, we need to show this message lost the game, but it will be your task to do that. It's gonna be your assignment. But now, as you can see, our scoring functionality is working fine. So on every wrong guess, it is basically decreasing the value by 1. Yeah, so let me just quickly tell you how you can create this again button as working. So for the again button to work, the first step is obviously is to grab that button. So where we have it, I think, so here we have it with the ID of again. So I'm just going to grab that button here. So again button with the ID of again here. The spelling of const is very wrong. Let me just fix it. Okay, and every time any user is going to click on this, so let's just set up an event listener for this again button. Dot add event listener. The event I'm going to look for is click, and let's just create a function for this. Function is obviously gonna be its task. Let me just rename it reset game here. Yep, and let's just pass this here like this. So what is the thing that you have to do in the reset thing? Okay, so let's just understand what you want to do. As soon as remaining attempts, like what attempts, we are basically decreasing the value on every count here. See, for every time user guesses the wrong number, we are decreasing it. Now it's your assignment. You have to check as soon as this score becomes 0. So you are basically going to get the two assignment. You need to create this high score thing, and you also need to check if the score is 0, then you need to show a message that you have lost the game. So this is, you need to write this code there. Okay, let me just open this. So in the reset part, first of all, I need to generate a new random number, isn't it? So I need to change the value for this random number. And how I'm gonna do this? First of all, let's just convert this thing to let from const, because I basically want to update this. And all I need to do is to copy this code, and I'm just going to paste it here. So I'm again basically creating a random number, yeah, and which will be the new value for our random number variable. So I'm updating this variable. I'm updating this variable with an updated random number. Second thing, I just want to change the style for our background to 222. So like if the background is in blue color, green color, depending on the scenario. So suppose 45. So it's too high, obviously. So as soon as you click on this, so it's gonna set back this styling to our basic color, which is #222. Okay, so it's gonna also be the background. Yeah, you can also add the one more check here, that a number should be in between of 0 to 20. Yeah, it will be a very great feature to have here, because right now I'm basically using 45, like, which is not possible because we are playing with 1 to 20 only. So you need to add this feature, so this will be very good to have. Let's see if we are going to have little bit more time, then we will do that as well. Next thing, I just want to update our message box. So message box text content to again start guessing. So like previously we are going to have some sort of, you lost the game and your guess is too high or your guess is too low, and I want to again reset it back to start guessing. And the last thing, I'm going to make the score value back to 10 here, and I'm also going to update the score element text content to score value. That's all. So this is how you can reset the game now, just 3 to 5 lines of code. Is it clear for everybody? So I'm just creating a new random number. I'm switching back the style, switching back the that message. I'm resetting the score count, and I'm also updating that updated score, resetted score on the screen. That's it. And if you want to, you can basically check it like 34, 40, and see. So this is my current state. Play again, and now we are reset to 0. If you want, you can update this to 0 as well. So let me just do this. User input dot value to a blank string. So I'm making it to a blank string. So it will also remove the string. So if there is any string, so now it's, yeah, high score, Dinesh. It's again gonna be your task. So we are not going to do everything in the class. So it's your assignment to create a functionality for this high score. Okay. So if we have some time here left, so let me just add that losing part as well in our code. So in this code, in this code, on every user guess, I want to check for one thing. Before checking a number, I'm going to check if, okay, so not here, yeah, here only, here. If the user input dot value is greater than is greater than 20 is greater than 20, then I'm going to show a message. The message is going to be, please enter a number between 1 to 20. Okay, between 1 to 20. And from like, and else if if the user input is dot value is less than 0. Let's just go with less than, yeah, I think it can generate a 0 as well. Then we are going to show a message that please enter a number between 1 to 20, or you can basically have a message number less than 20, lesser than 20, and let's say have the greater than 0. Yep. And else we need to write all of our rest of our code. So this is our code, and it basically is little bit more confusing, isn't it? Like, it's getting little bit confusing. That's why I don't like else if. And okay, so let me just tell you a quick trick. Okay, quick trick by which you can rewrite this whole thing in a better way. Okay, so I'm just going to rewrite this thing in a better way. Like, it was not initially intended to add this in our course, but let me just add it. So I need to tell you something about the function, that as soon as you return something from a function, as soon as you return something from a function, so after this return thing, even though if you're not going to return anything, if you have any line of code, it won't get executed. Okay, it is not going to get executed. So what I mean by this, after the return, your function is going to stop right there. So you can use this return as some sort of a break statement, because break statement is not going to work inside a function. So I can use this return as a break statement. So instead of you having multiple if else, what I will do, I'm just going to write if the user input dot value is, let's say, if greater than 20, then in that case show a message that please enter a number greater than 20. Yep. And return and finish the function. You need not to have put some condition here. If you want to, you can return false, true, 1, 0 if you want to. By the way, we just return 0 from here. 0 means false. Yeah. So I can also leave it. So what will happen now? As soon as this condition is going to become satisfied, this condition going to become satisfied. So everything inside this if code will execute. So we will update our message box and then we will stop the function by this return here. Yeah. So, and let me just write this condition. If this condition is not true, if the user value is let's say less than 1, then we will show a message that user please enter a number greater than 1 here. So suppose this condition is false, so this code won't get executed now. And suppose this condition is true, then it is going to execute this code, and here we have this code here like message box text contain and return. Now anything you are going to have after it is just going to be ignored. That code is going to get ignored right away. Yeah. Suppose these two conditions are false. If the user entered a number 15, which is lesser than 20 and greater than 1, so it is in between of range, then just check for if the user input dot value is equal to our random number. And if it is, then just update our screen. Okay, just write this, you guess the correct number, change our styling and return the function. Don't do anything after it. Yep. And we are going to follow this step. Is the user input dot value, if it is greater than our random number, then we need to show a message that your number guess is too high. And also let me change the styling, main dot style dot background color to our reddish one. Okay, this one. And decrease the value, decrease the scorecard. So the decreasing of the scorecard, the code we are going to write here. So I'm pretty sure that if the number is not equal to a random number, then execute this line of code. Decrease the score value. And update it on the screen. So we are having some sort of breaks. Okay. Any condition which will become true, it's actually going to stop your code execution. If this condition is going to become true, nothing is going to get executed. Yeah. So we can right away check if the number is wrong or not. So check for this situation, check if the number is correct, then just show this message and don't move ahead. Yep. And if the message if a number is not correct, in that case obviously if it is not correct, then decrease the score value. And now I can check if the score value where we have this now, score value is equal to 0. If it is equal to 0, then show a message that you lost the game and return. Like don't do anything, just return. And I'm just going to follow this. Now it's very it's sort of I know it may seem a little bit difficult for you, but it's like little easy for us to read the code, because else if becomes so much confusing and all. So we generally go with this one. So you will see this kind of code in every advanced development stuff. So right now, even though this is an essential program, but I also told this. So this is how I would have written this code here. Okay, so now we have all the checks as well, and you can basically make them small. And now see, our code is working. Please enter a number between greater than, sorry, I think it should be lesser than. Yeah, it should not be greater than, it should be lesser than. So message galat likha tha. Yeah, so I just go with 23. I'm getting, please enter a number lesser than 20. So this first condition got validated. So this is true. So it's not executing any more line of code. We just updated our message and don't do anything else. Yeah. Now let me just enter a negative number. Let's say 0 here. See, now I'm getting another message. So what happened? There's that this condition is false, so no code will get execute. Now this condition got true. So this code got executed and return the function. Don't do anything after this. Yeah. And let's see what's the correct number. The correct number is, I think, uh, refresh here, 13. Okay, 13. So see, I got the guess the correct number, and now this third condition got true. So this one false, this one false, this one true. Execute this code and return. Don't do anything after that. Yep, and you can just follow the chain. So if let's say play again, 3 year. So mine is too low. Okay, so which condition got completed? This one. I think this one. Our user input is lesser than our lucky number. So like obviously rest of the condition are already false. So none of the code got executed, but only this one, this code got executed because it's in open, like nobody is actually having a look for this, and too low and return. Yeah. And now I can also check for the score 0. See, you lost the game. Okay. So this is what you can do. Yeah. Okay, so now let me just go through the chat. Such a statement is only useful when you want to check equality. It is not, it won't be useful here. It won't be useful here, no? So this is some advanced thing. By the way, if you want, if you don't want to use it, you can completely fine. You can use basic if and else. I just added this as extra stuff for just score value part. Yeah. So let's see how I did the score value part. So for that, just have a closer look. When I'm decreasing the code, if this condition is false, if our number is greater than 20, okay, sorry, lesser than 20, okay. So if this condition is false, if this condition is false, and also if this condition is false, if the user input is not equal to the random number, then I'm pretty sure that I need to decrease the score value, isn't it? Now you need to decrease the score value, obviously, that's all. So decrease the score value here. So I'm decreasing the score value, and then I'm updating it on the screen. Then I'm updating it on the screen. Yeah. And next thing I'm doing, that now check if the updated score value, if it is equals to 0, then show this message and return the function. Don't do anything more, because already the score is become to 0. Like, stop it, like don't do this anymore. No, I can also have it, let's say, if lesser than or equal to 0. No, less than equals to 0. And if it is not, if our score is greater than equal to 0, then check for these two conditions. If it is greater, like if the user input value is greater than our random number or not. Yeah. So this is how I'm doing it. By the way, you can basically go with uh, the simple if and else. Let me just go through the chat. Write a chat program, how you can draw it on the screen. Write a chat program, how you can draw on the screen. To draw on the screen, you need to use something called as canvas. So we have HTML element canvas, and with help of little bit of JavaScript and canvas, you can basically create a paint tool for you. Yep. Yeah, Muskan, actually the thing is project is already completed. Like project already got completed. I just added this extra stuff here. Instead of using just simple if and else's, I just updated this to this little advanced stuff. Yeah. So you can basically rewrite. Now I'm just going to share this code with you as soon as this chat is going to end. So you can download this from my GitHub. So let me just show you. So you will get my GitHub link. So this GitHub, and from my GitHub repo, you can look for how lucky you are. So this is my GitHub repo. Let me just share this code with you. So just open this link. You are going to get this link and just download this code. Now just click on this code and download zip, and you will get the complete solution here. You are going to get the complete solution here. Let me just paste this in the chat. So this is me. So from the chat, you can copy it and you can download it and you can use it now. Okay. And if you're visiting my profile, like you can also follow me. Like I think now I have 170 followers here. Yeah, and 173. So you can make it 200. So if you are here, you can just follow me here. Yeah. So let me just move to the next part, and which is to tell you about that we are offering 7,000 rupees straight off on our both of our courses, which is a steal deal. You won't get this kind of price to value ratio anywhere else. I can literally promise this to you. All you need to use the coupon code refer20 whenever you're going to purchase our course. Just use the coupon code refer20, refer 20, and you will get 7,000 rupees off, which will bring the price down to 25 or 26,000, which is so much less. And you can basically land a job as soon as you complete this course. We are going to be with you throughout the course for the rest of the 6 month. And not only that, you can also get a gift of worth of 7,000 to 80,000. All you need to do is to refer our courses to all the people who may need our courses. If they want to change their profession, if they want to start their journey as a data scientist, as a machine learning developer, as a full stack developer, as a backend developer, as a front end developer, just copy this refer link from here, and you will get two links, one for the full stack web dev, which includes the front end and the back end, and you have the full stack data science. It will have all the data science stuff, AI and machine learning. If you want to create your own chat GPT, you can basically follow the guide here, and you can do that by yourself. Just copy this and share this to your friends and family. And if you just want to get just for the any of the courses, you can just scroll down and you can get the copy refer links for just any of the course. Here you will get the refers for the both. And for the one refer, you're going to get 2,000 rupees or a wireless mouse from Logitech, keyboard and mouse both. And on your eighth refer, you will get a MacBook Air or 80,000 rupees cash. On addition, you are going to get 7,000 rupees off on your courses. So for just, if you want to get just the 7,000 rupees off, just use the refer code. So you can just grab these two deals together. Just also avail our courses, and also you can refer our courses to your friends and family to get the prize money as well. Okay. So code link, I have already shared this to you in the chat. Let me just paste it one more time. This one. So in the chat, okay, this one, or you can look for me. So this is my username. You can just look for me for the GitHub, and you can just search how lucky you are. So I think it's the first one. So just click here and you will get this. Okay. I think we are already out of time. We won't be able to. By the way, Krishna Kumar, it's Krishna Kumar. It's very, very simple. Like I haven't used very advanced. If you want, you can have your own HTML CSS. So I have just used the most basic one. And if you are feeling little difficulty with our HTML CSS, you can basically watch the essential for that as well. Yeah. So okay, guys, that's it for our JavaScript session. I hope you enjoyed it and you got some knowledge, you got some introduction to our JavaScript. And if you want to continue this journey, if you want to become a front-end developer, or if you want to land a job, as I told you, you can just anytime watch our courses, and I will be there with you. You will get one-to-one mentoring and all this stuff, all the cool stuff. No, I think from abhi tak to yaad ho gaya hoga sab. Okay, chalo. Okay, I'll see you soon. Hope I will see you in the classes. Okay, everybody, bye bye and take care.
This particular program is worth of 2.5 lakh rupees. You know why? Because you also get a PGP full stack certificate of web development after you complete this program in collaboration with ITM group of institutions and NSDC. So with a unique license code. Okay. So this program is worth of more than 2.5 lakh rupees. But for you, because we are a community and we want to upgrade masses, okay, a lot of people at one particular time, so we are offering this particular program at 36,600. But right now, a 20% of discount is being available for you to enroll into this particular program. So you can enroll this particular program for 29,600 after you avail that 20% discount. So I hope you got your summary explanation with this particular video. Any more details, you can contact to us via website or directly typing us back from this chat. Okay, so that's it guys. Bye bye. Take care.